Hello people, welcome back to yet another video. Let's talk about Arsenal. Now, first things first, Arsenal Fulham game. A lot has been said, a lot has been diagnosed for this game, plain and simple. A lot of tactical analysis made by people who understand football, people who don't understand football that much. So, not gonna talk about the tactical part of this. I'm not Mikel Arteta, I'm not a professional coach. But one thing, purely as a fan, purely as a spectator, looked a bit unprofessional by the guys. The way they started the game, absolutely shambolic. Again, I think Arsenal set up a record for allowing goals in the first minute of the game, something like 3 games in a row or something like that, which is crazy. Now, can we blame Saka for this? Of course, a very bad pass. But to be fair, it looked like nobody in the team kinda realized that the game has started. Ramsdale, not sure what he's doing, why he's where he is, why he's turning left instead of turning right. Nobody knows what's going on in his mind at that moment. So obviously not the best way to start the game. And after that, lots of chances created. Let's put it this way: not the best game for our attacking line. So that being said, we got a point. Not the worst start. 7 points out of 9. Not the end of the world. So hopefully the guys can look into this, realize that that's not how you play in English Premier League. You underestimate any opponent, you will pay for it. It doesn't matter if you're playing the worst team or the best team, you will pay the price. So that's about it. Now, a couple of positives of the game. So a lot of people were talking about Fabio Vieira, fantastic substitution, affected the game very well. The guy had been under heavy criticism lately, last year as well, so I think he needed that. Maybe right now there's a bit of pressure on him with Kai Havertz in the team and being forced every single game. So hopefully this works as a motivation for him. Hopefully he can get a bit more of a gaming time. So let's hope so. Let's hope he keeps with the good performances. Now the one player uh, I was really hyped to talk about is Edie Nketiah. Now, as I said in my previous videos, Edie is a guy that I myself criticized quite heavily. I didn't think he's good enough for Arsenal. I still don't think he is the best option. But to be fair, looking at how the guy is playing so far this season, he's actually one of our best players. Yeah, he missed a lot of chances against Crystal Palace, but he's not the only one, right? So a lot of players in this squad right now are not focused, let's put it this way. So criticizing just Eddie, I think it's quite unfair. 2 goals in 3 games it doesn't look bad, right? So to be fair, I'm quite shocked at the way he's playing in a good way, right? Especially the game against Fulham, he completely changed the game. The guy is an absolute menace in front of the goal. So his link-up play looks a bit better right now. Now a lot of people are criticizing him for not being Gabriel Jesus and not being as good as Jesus in opening spaces for Saka and Martinelli. But to be fair with you, he looks good. He actually looks good. Now I know he's not Jesus, obviously, so we can't wait for Jesus to come back. But having Eddie right now as a backup is not bad. It's actually not bad. So let's show the guy some love. Let's give him his flowers, support the guy, and hopefully he pays out. And the last thing I was hyped to talk about is Florian Balogun. Now, I'm myself a huge fan of Balogun. The first game I watched was, I believe it was a Europa League game he played for Arsenal, and to be fair, I was very impressed. Now, the guy looks a bit like a winger, not exactly the striker. He moves more like Rashford, like Thierry Henry on that left side, right? Now, I'm not saying he's Henry, I'm just saying he's playing very similar game, going from the left to the center, scoring goals. Very good season last year in French league. Obviously, that's the French league. We all know Lacazette scored, I think, like 25 goals or something crazy like that. couldn't hit the bar in Arsenal the season before that. Not a very good spell in Middlesbrough before that, but to be fair, I don't think there are many young players that thrive in the Championship. Championship is a very hard league for young players. It's a very physical league, so it's not the best league for technical players, right? If you're gonna do a lot of tricks there, you probably will end up with ice on your feet at the end of the game. So that being said, I'm really disappointed with Balogun being sold. To be fair, I think he deserved to get a chance, especially with Gabriel Jesus being injured as he is. Because if you think of it, if we don't buy a striker right now and Jesus gets another injury, because let's be fair, that's a knee injury, it's probably the worst thing for a footballer, right? So if this injury occurs again and he goes out for like a month or something like that, again we will have only Edie. Now the Trossard thing, yes, Trossard can play in that position, but so far you can see that he doesn't feel very well. It's not his natural position. He's much better at the left side. Maybe Arteta can think of playing Martinelli more as a striker and Trossard on the left side if we have to, if Jesus is not available and Ketia doesn't have a good game or something like that. So yeah, let's hope Arteta can fix this, because so far the team doesn't look really good. As I said in my first video when I was talking about the meaning and how important friendly games are, well, that's why I said that the friendly games are very important. You can see that there was no fluidity during the preseason games. The team looked tired, the team looked not focused, not ready for the season, and it just continued into the season. Apart from that Barcelona game, which was crazy, the other games they were not good, right? Especially the game against United, not good. So hopefully the next game against United will look much better. The last player I wanted to talk about is, to be fair, is Martin Odegaard. Now, I'm a huge Odegaard fan, right? I really like the guy. I was following him since he joined Madrid when he was like 15 and a half or something crazy. There was a lot of hype around him that time. I was watching quite closely, just pure of curiosity to see what player Madrid got in their hands, and to be fair, I was very impressed. Now, right now he struggles a bit, obviously, and I think the reason is most Arsenal fans will agree here is Kai Havertz, right? Kai Havertz doesn't help much, and he's supposed to. So hopefully, if Havertz gets dropped, again, nothing against the guy. He's Arsenal player. We will support him as long as he wears that red shirt. But right now, I think Havertz needs to be dropped. As I said before, he needs to be dropped. He needs to get this attention out of him. He needs some time to relax. Just, I think the best way would be just to play Rice next to Partey, Odegaard in front of them. Just go with classic back four. If Zinchenko is not ready, well, you shouldn't have sold Tierney. That's a madness. That's one on Edu, I believe. I don't think it's Arteta's decision. It's probably more of Edu decision. Just kind of trying to release some money from those weekly wages. But to be fair, even if with Timber being injured and if Zinchenko is not ready, Tomiyasu not the best position for him on the left, I would just go with Kivior on that left side, Saliba, Gabriel, White, and with White being the one that attacks more aggressively, the other three will be defending better, and then you have your full mid-line in Partey, Rice and Odegaard, and I think this is when Odegaard is the best, right? So we need to free Odegaard. Arteta needs to free Odegaard, let him be the creative player he is, let him play the game without thinking much of defending, because when you have Rice and Xhaka behind, right? When you have Rice and Partey behind and the three centre backs in Kivior, Saliba and Gabriel, even if White is out of position, still enough people to defend. And probably the last one, Aaron Ramsdale. A lot of pressure put on Ramsdale, a lot of fire, a lot of criticism. I quite frankly don't understand why. Yes, he made some mistakes, but come on, I mean, it's not like it's just Ramsdale being bad, right? When your players make the passes like what Bukayo did in that game, you cannot put the blame on the goalie, right? Nobody expects in the first 30 seconds to get into a position that Ramsdale was, right? I think he made a lot of saves for us. Should we try with David Raya? Maybe give Raya a chance again. Just let Ramsdale relax a bit, give him time to shake his head, take a kind of some air and chill out a bit. Okay, so please let me know any comments. Much appreciated. Let me know if you agree with that, if you don't agree with that, and catch you in the next one.